Well, hello there. How's everybody doing? We are Life Uncensored Racine, and today my name's Mommy Missy or Missy Lee, and today we are going to be talking about Racine and what it has to offer all summer long. My co-host is not feeling well tonight. I think I passed it along. Whatever I had to her on accident. It was not on purpose because I was down for a good 7 days. I'm finally now feeling better. It started from my kids and then it moved to me. So we're starting the new summer season, and I have been working a full time job for the past year. I had to take a break from doing shows because it takes a lot of work. I wanted to get things a little settled in my house, and now that things are a little more settled, I'm going to be going on live and talking about tons of what's going on in our community, the good things and the bad. Today is just for us to get to know, me again as a person, because I'm telling you, working as a full-time mom and working full-time is rough. Is real rough, especially when the kids are home as much as they've been home. It's hard. It's hard the days that they are sick and I still have to go into work and I have to contact my mom, or their dad's mom, or, call a friend or something like that and have them watch the boys. It's rough. And if you're new to the show, to Life Uncensored, I have 5 boys ranging adult to toddler. And God had a sense of humor when he gave me 5 boys because I'm one of the most girliest girls that you'll meet. So if you guys know me and that was going to be part of the show, Jody was going to ask me questions because we have been friends since first grade, of, what we know about each other. We are both born and raised in Racine, Wisconsin. It is in 45 minutes from Milwaukee, and it is an hour and a half, or an hour and a half from Chicago, downtown Chicago. So we have things going on in, two cities. We're in between two cities, and it's a good and a bad for us. We have a lot of historic houses and a lot of historic buildings that have a lot of history, and there's a lot of superstition with some of the buildings that are haunted. We have actually a group with Big DJ Ron. He is in Racine Paranormal Investigators that I am starting to get into. I haven't been able to because the last year I have really had to concentrate on my house and working full time. I give credit to those moms that are, don't have the dads in the picture and don't get any help at all, and they still manage to do everything. Like, I don't know how they have energy. But because Racine has so many historic houses and stores and buildings and things with history, we have something we do once a year, a historic walk tour. And I've gone on 2 of them already, but it is I don't have the exact date because it wasn't posted yet. But we go from house to house, and there are people in each room, and they tell you who built the house, who lived in the house, if there's anybody that has significant historical value or precedence in our community, and what they've done, type of thing. I have lived in one of the first houses built in Racine, and I'm telling you, that house was haunted. You would hear whispering, talking, people walking, and you'd be like, nobody was upstairs. And it had like this weird room in the basement that it looked like was probably a speakeasy at one point in time, but I don't know. I didn't really do it. I did know that in the house was the telephone operators in there. So I wish, if I was a fly on the wall and I could hear that thing, I would. Racine has a lot of art significance. We have the Racine Art Museum. Then every year, I don't know if they're doing it this year or last year because of the COVID, but they would do, decorate an object. One year it was cows. One year it was cats. One year it was chairs that they would decorate. And it would, and then they auction them off, but they're inside the buildings of downtown stores. We have a lot of fine art fairs that are coming up. I know there was one last weekend that I was going to talk about in the show, but I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't get out of bed for 6 days, 4 or 5 days actually. And I just don't know. I don't know what happened. So I looked on TripAdvisor, and I think a lot of the things I looked up was kind of funny because there were a lot of bars and a lot of restaurants. And we have some really good restaurants in Racine. I love Kewpies. I remember going in high school to Kewpies because I went to Walden, which was a skip and a hop and a jump there. There are other, like the Yard Arm. I loved the Yard Arm. I know people that have worked there, sisters work there. It's really a family affair. There is also Wells Brothers. I grew up right across the street from the Wells Brothers daughters. And, it came from their grandpa. They're now different last name, but it was, it's still in the family. And my parents swear by pizza. I don't like pizza, but I like their other food. So you can go there for more than just pizza. Okay, so one of the big things that we have is the Lighthouse, and we're able to go and take pictures. I've been in photography for years, and I love going to the Lighthouse with my boys because it's almost a calming place. And then it kind of starts where the beach is. You can walk along the beach. We have 3 of the best beaches on Lake Michigan. So North Beach is really nice to go. There are volleyball nets. There is the Oasis, which is like a place you can have drinks, and they have music there, I do believe, like 3 times a week. And then from there, you can, go sit by the lake and hang out there. There's also the Racine Zoo. And for a very long time, we had a zoo that was still free. And a lot of zoos aren't like that. Right now, it was actually made the Milwaukee, I think the national paper, that we had 2 penguins, 2 boy penguins, that were kissing and having crushes on each other. And I thought that was really cute and that was really funny because before that, our penguins wouldn't go in the water. They brought psychologists in, they tried to get them counseling, they brought other penguins. They would not go in the water, period, general. And so now they'll go in the water, but they're getting an egg for one of the penguins because if you don't know or haven't seen the movie Happy Feet, boy penguins are the ones that nurture the eggs while the mothers go out to hunt for the food. We also have an eco justice center. It is a small little farm. It's really cool. If your kids can go, you can book a tour there. They have chickens that you can catch. I've been there. I caught a chicken, and I'm not really a bird person, but my kid kind of convinced me. You get read a book in the tree fort, and it is run by nuns from the Sienna Center. And I think it's out of Milwaukee. Our downtown is like no other small town. There is so much to do. We have First Fridays every Friday in the summer. The shops stay open longer. I think they close down the streets every once, if they like it's a big event. I know um, there's a Saturday event that I'll talk about in a minute that they close down the streets. But First Friday, and then there's the restaurants, there's Salute's, there's a Mexican restaurant. There is, I'm trying to think of what are the other restaurants downtown. Oh, Old Madrid is one of my favorites. I love Old Madrid. And there's a Korean restaurant that the owner of RG Natural Babies loves. My friend Michelle. She kind of like sticky rice. Sticky rice is what it was. Um, it's it's Thai that she loved, and it was right across the street, and they would bring it to us. Her store is actually very unique. It's not like any other store that has cloth diapers, which are not like your cloth diapers that your great grandmother used. It is actually a diaper, but it's actually less smelly, and you get less diaper rash with them. Racine also has mini golf, billiards bar, and 2 bowling alleys. And one of the bowling alleys has a lot of history because it's a hillside. It's called Hillside Bowling, and it's been around since the 50s, I think, is when it opened, maybe longer. I don't know what everybody likes to do during the summer too. I enjoy the parks. Racine has one of the most parks that you can that are free that you can go to, and the playgrounds are awesome. My kids just love Graceland Playground, but Slaminski Park is one big playground that a lot of people don't realize is out there. And it's just the kids can go and run, and the padding there isn't the rubbery pattern that like turns to like burning. You can burn your feet and stuff like that on it. It's really soft, and it stays cool in the summer. I did miss, before I forget, La Tapatia is one of the other restaurants, and the owner of La Tapatia is in our parade every year, and he brings his horses and he makes them dance, and he's really makes our parade, which is the biggest parade in southeastern Wisconsin, then it makes it special because it just shows how people of Racine really can get together and enjoy the the festivities. And Ivanhoe's Pub is also a good one. That it's a pub, but it's a nice place to sit down and eat. You can bring your kids. It has almost like gourmet food, but it's not gourmet food to me. Um, let's see. There's Dennis's is one of my favorites, and I just happened to find that. And I was not a meat person. I'm really kind of picky with my meat. Um, okay, that's that. Sorry, guys. I don't have my helper here today. And then one of in Racine, we have a lot of kind of unique bars that have like not the not a theme, but it's just a different. Each bar is a little bit different way of feeling when you're in there. It's just the vibe is just a tiny bit different. Everything's really welcome, but it's a different vibe where it's not you don't have to be a certain way to go or dress a certain way. You can just kind of go in there and talk to anybody will pretty much talk to you. Mosquito Inn is one. They usually have bonfires in the back. There's usually a DJ. I know DJ Big Ron is there very often. There's Dewey's, and it's a sports bar. It's right on the corner, and there's windows everywhere. And especially when things like a parade is going on, or downtown Racine is having some festival, it's a nice place to go and just like cool down, sit down, have a bite to eat. It's not too expensive. There's also McAuliffe's on the Square. Joey's has 5 bars They have west, east, south. Um, Ivanhoe's. See, I love Ivanhoe's. It's dark, but it's friendly and it's lively and there's music. Usually most of bars have some type of music or some type of entertainment, but it's not too loud where you can't talk around people. So that's always good for me. And I mean, there's so many others. Um, Blue Rock has a upside or top two-story bar that you can go out on the deck and it's nice to sit and talk and have your drink and you don't have to worry and what's going on. And then Party on the Pavement, it's always nice when they have, because Party on the Pavement is down two streets, Main Street and 6th Street, and it's on a Saturday, and it's part of the festivities. It's the end of the year of you know hanging out, being nice outside. Racine has movies in the park for the kids and the adults to go and sit, and they have this big screen and this everybody can hear it, and it's a way for us to get together, and the kids usually are running around playing, and it's really a sense of community when you do things like that. um, Racine is small, but it's got a small town feel, but it's a big city. There's so much going on. You don't know everyone. Some people know almost everyone, and I mean I do know a lot, but not that many. We also have FX games every year that you can enter to be in. We have a skating park down by the lake, and they didn't do it last year, but I'm hoping that it comes back um, for the kids. That my kids are really starting to get into the roller skating and into the bikes and things like that, and I really want them to be able to go and see this. Maybe not do the FX games yet; they're kind of young, and I don't want to have to walk around with bubble wrap every time they fall. I'm just like throwing it out there, like I can't get them hurt. I'm not an emergency room trip. Five Boys, it happens a lot, promise. So we have also Animal Crackers. Animal Crackers is every Wednesday. We do they have a band, and sometimes they're a pretty big band that I think it's like $20 a ticket. It's not unbelievably expensive, and you sit on the lawn and you can you listen to them, and they have the stage, an acoustic stage. It's really nice. Downtown um, Memorial Hall has Salmonorama. And a funny fact is my kid's grandfather actually won, I think in like 1983 or something like that, won Salmonorama with the biggest fish, our 4th of July. And then, not last week, but the week before, I posted a video that Jody and I had done on the prom 2 years ago that was a big hoo-ha. We have one of the biggest proms that's out there, and people don't realize it. When I work in Milwaukee, and when I tell people just one city over about what we're doing, they're like, oh, really? That really happens? Yeah, you find your dress and what you're going to prom before you find your date. That's how big it is. Even if you don't have a date, you still go. Like most towns, all of our churches have festivals. Some are bigger than others. One of the big ones is St. Rita's and St. Lucy's. And I have a friend, and she will be coming on at the end of the month. Her birthday always falls on the weekend for St. Lucy's Festival, and she says it's her festival. Sports are so big in Racine, and like we have a foundation called Por la Gente, and it was actually started because of baseball. They wanted a baseball tournament, and that's kind of how it started. And it was started by a very close friend of the family's. He was one of the starters. So you can, and this was part of what Jody was going to talk about, but she doesn't have a voice today. You can do adult basketball, kickball, pickleball, which I don't really know what pickleball is. I saw it kind of about, they were doing something about it with Vanderpump Rules reality show that I watched, but I don't know what that is. Softball, tennis, volleyball, flag football, baseball, and I love volleyball. I'm really bad at it, but I love to play it. And that's okay. And the youth have the same, but they actually have more. They have snow sharks for their kids. And I'm going to put links of this on um, the description in case anybody wants to look for it. They actually do martial arts, and they do music lessons and ceramics and camp and clinics for sports, sewing and creative arts, glass blowing. And then we have, being such a small city, we still have our own sports associations like YMCA. It's called Racine Area Soccer Association, and YUS, Racine Youth Sports. So one thing I didn't talk about the beaches, like the North Beach. It has lifeguards. It's the only beach in Racine that does have lifeguards, and it's wheelchair accessible. It has a bathhouse where you can rinse off after you go in. It has restrooms, it's sand volleyball, picnic area, and then it has this huge, huge playground. It's a pirate ship. And I tell everybody I have a pirate ship in my yard. I really do, I promise. Nothing compared to this one. And then at the Oasis, you can get concessions. So there's food there. I don't know if I had food there yet. And then the last park that the beach I didn't talk about was Samuel and Myers Park. And that actual beach is it's kind of special to me because my aunt used to take me from her house. She lived over on North Wisconsin, and we would walk down there and I would get glass rocks and things of that nature. And I would go swimming just, to my knees in there, and it's changed a lot, but there it has a ramp where you can put your canoes and your kayaks and your paddle boards, and it has a gazebo and a scenic outlook. You can look at the place, and I used to love going over there, and there's a park right there for it. Let's see. Oh, Party on the Pavement is September 17th. And I think I'm going to be doing the Pound the Pavement 5K. So if anyone would like to join me, they're more than welcome. It's $35, and you pick up the packet the day of, and the race starts at 10. I'll put the link into that also. Oh, wait. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I plan on doing. I'm going to be working on it. I'm missing my running. I hate doing it. It's afterwards that I feel really good. And I just really want to get back at it. I was doing it before I had the twins, and then I started, then I got pregnant with the twins. I had a police escort. Did a run when I was 6 months pregnant with the twins, and I never really got back into it, and I'm really bummed because I really want to. So one of the really cool things about Racine and having a history is we also have some shady history. Like John Dillinger came and robbed an American Bank and Trust in 1933. And if you look still on 5th and Main, you can still see the bullet holes. The police station has the gun, one of the guns that they used, and a hat that was left behind. it's really like it's cool. But after that, they jumped on Highway 20 and went to Waukesha. Then they were Waukesha's problem. We were going to talk about the the violence that's been going on and the fact that we wanted to stop it and what needs to happen for each individual person to make a difference. Without her here, I don't feel like I can 100% touch on that subject, but we will be talking about it in the next coming issues. We had a curfew from at 11 a.m. to 6 a.m. Everyone under 18 was supposed to be in the house. Now, either my parents were lying to me for a really long time, or I'm on drugs because my parents told me I had to be home at 11 o'clock. When I was 17, turning 18 on August 10th, I had to come home at 11 o'clock until midnight. And then I could go back out because then I was officially 18. Yeah, it was fun. My parents, not so fun. But I mean, they were smart. My parents were smart. They kept me out of trouble. We are going to be talking in the future about um, the kids, teaching them financial responsibility and what they can do at what age we can, help. If anybody out there is looking for some type of employment, or their kids are, or somewhere that they hire kids at younger ages, for the summer, please, please, please reach out to me or Jody and we can get it out there to help match up people. There is, I'm not even going to touch on that. I'm going to pass that one up until Jody comes. And on that note, I've been talking for 27 minutes and I'm running out of notes because there's a couple things that I want to touch up with Jody about and I can't because she has no voice. So I'm going to say c'est la vie and I will talk to you guys next week. Next week, we are going to be talking about LGBTQL+. Mrs. Rory Graves is going to be on. And good night, Lionel. Thank you for listening. It was very kind. We're going to be talking to her about her experiences with life and with coming out and being a strong person. She is a published author. So she is a dear friend of my daughter. I was supposed to go to her wedding, but I ended up having a house full of sick kids with strep. So I was not able to come and support her. So this is one way that I'm going to try. So I will see you guys next week. And if you have anything that you would like us to talk about or discuss or research, please send a message to life.uncensored.racine@gmail.com and we will get back to you or send us a message on Facebook. Thanks, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.